What's going on, everybody? It's your friendly real estate advisor, Parker Roberts, on the call tonight. I'm super excited to be presenting on this awesome market that we've been in since the early 2000s. And Forbes just released a few articles kind of catching up to what we've been doing for so long, saying this market is absolutely perfect to buy real estate in. As I mentioned, there I am. My name is Parker Roberts, your real estate advisor here at Marshall Reddick Real Estate. And as always, for my reoccurring members on these webinars, I always like to do a sound check to make sure you all can hear me loud and clear so you can get all this information on one of my favorite markets out there. So on the right-hand side of your control panel, you have a chat bar. Let's go ahead and type in the city and state in which you are calling in from to make sure that you all can hear me loud and clear before we get started. So I'll give you a few seconds to get your sound check in. Okay, looks like we got Wen from San Jose. Welcome, good to see you. Looks like we have Ashley from Orange. Thank you for joining us. And we got Stephen from LA and a bunch of other individuals on the call tonight as well. So it sounds like you guys can hear me good. And let's go ahead and get started. So I mentioned Parker Roberts, real estate advisor here. If I have not had the pleasure of speaking with you before, I'm a licensed California realtor. Grew up in a real estate family here locally in Orange County, California, and studied finance at the W.P. Carey School of Business. And as I was, doing my studies, thinking what do I want to do with my life, I always wanted to get into advising of some sort. Thinking about doing wealth management or financial advising, but kind of fell back to my roots of real estate, and that's how I kind of landed here at Marshall Reddick Real Estate. It's been a perfect match, and the rest is history, and time flies when you are having fun. As I started my retirement portfolio when I was 19 years old, started my real estate portfolio when I was 24 years old, and have put the plan of action in place to accomplish my long-term goals through real estate investing myself. I'm a huge sports enthusiast, so Southern California sports have been down a little bit over the years, but there's only one way to go, and that's up. So I'd be more than happy to chalk it up for you fellow sports enthusiasts on the call tonight as well. But most importantly, we're here to talk about real estate. So let's go ahead and get started. For the new members, Marshall Reddick Real Estate is a real estate brokerage. We're here locally in Orange County, so we help our clients buy and sell in Orange County, LA County, Inland Empire, whether that's a primary residence or an investment property. Now, for investment property and primary residence for that matter, we're not secluded to our local market here. We're in about 16 hand-selected markets across the U.S. that I'm going to touch on in a little bit for specific reasons for real estate investing or primary residence as well. Second service that we offer is private money lending. So we are a licensed mortgage originator for non-recourse financing. So for individuals that cannot qualify for conventional financing, there are options for you, whether that's the borrower side, or you can invest in these notes to diversify your portfolio a little bit as well. And then lastly, we are a property manager. So we manage our clients' properties here locally in Southern California. So we're very, very familiar with all things property management, which is so important when you're investing in real estate as well. And I highlighted something in the bottom paragraph there. We've been doing this for about 38 years now, so about 4 decades. And over the years, we've established relationships with the best people in the industry, whether that's real estate brokers, property managers, lenders, insurance agents, 1031 exchange accommodators, you name it, we've worked with the best, and we still work with the best people. We're going to have one on the call tonight who's very important. She is a real estate broker and a property manager out there in San Antonio, and I'll bring her up in a little bit here. So I mentioned we're in about 16 markets across the U.S., and there are specific reasons why. The job market has to be strong, right? Because where the jobs are moving and staying, well, that's where people are moving and staying. And where people are moving and staying, that's where your tenants are, okay? That'll lower your vacancy rate, And that's one of the risks of owning property, is having that property vacant, right? So if there's a strong local economy, that's going to lower your vacancy rate. But even more, that economy must be diversified, okay? So there must be different sectors within that local metropolitan area. So it's well diversified, making your portfolio well diversified as well. The affordability has to be there too. I mean, think of it this way, guys. You're investing, right? So this has to be a number or data-driven decision. You know, if you're putting personal bias into investment real estate, you're doing yourself a disservice. So in these markets, and the majority of the markets, I might say, are very affordable, and we'll touch on the specific details of San Antonio for that matter as well. But this is a big one that not a lot of people consider, is the state landlord-friendly or tenant-friendly? Here in California, we all know it's a tenant-friendly state. Whereas in Texas, for example, it's a very landlord-friendly state. So you just want the ball in your court if you have to go through anything like an eviction, okay? And I think Christine will touch on this during tonight's presentation. 6 is strong education. Well, that's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. And then reliable property management. I went into a whole presentation last week on the fundamentals of property management and how it affects your bottom line. And these are the 7 key points we look for when looking into a market. I get it. There are thousands of markets out there. Now, if you can hit the majority of these qualifications, you're ensuring long-term success for your real estate investments. So here's the 16 markets that we're in. Been doing this for about 40 years, like I mentioned, and these check off all or most of those 7 points there. Job growth, vacancy rate, reliable property management, strong education, and one of which we're going to touch on tonight is our friends down there in San Antonio, Texas. So this is a beautiful property out there in San Antonio, Texas. It's something that you will commonly find in this market, about 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. So catering towards that family or a large tenant pool for that matter with a product like this. Now, I know this property personally because I actually own this property. So not only do I advise on specific markets, I guess I'm a client as well. So I'd be more than happy to touch on the details of my experience thus far, but I wanted to share with you a little bit about my personal life and how I'm a real estate investor too. So the way I got started into real estate investing is education, first of all. So we have this, this ebook called the Reddick Property Rating ebook. It's about 38 pages. It's free to download, and it is a wealth of knowledge that I encourage all of you to read. It goes into specifically how to choose the best real estate investments. Goes into details on cash flow, goes into details on appreciation, goes into principal pay down, tax benefits, what I like to call the big 4 of real estate investing, okay? So I highly encourage you to hop on our website. I showed you exactly where to get it under the Invest tab, click on Properties, and you can download it for free. And if you guys have ever heard of Amazon.com, you can download it there too. Just kidding, I know you all know Amazon. So before we get started, this is an interactive webinar. So just like you typed in for the sound check, you can type in your questions there during the presentation. So I wanted to start off tonight's presentation with a quick poll. These are anonymous, and I love your feedback. So I'm going to get this started here. I'm going to launch it up there and choose the one that applies to you. So you'll see on your screen here, I'm interested in real estate investing for, and I put the big 4 there for you guys. I put cash flow, I put appreciation, I put principal pay down, in which the tenant is paying off the mortgage, so the principal of your note, and then the 4th option there is tax benefits, okay? So go ahead and choose which one brings you to real estate investing. There's no right or wrong answer here, and I would love your feedback. So looks like we're getting some good answers in. The majority are already voted. Okay, I'm going to give it 5 more seconds 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, I'm going to share these results with you, just the percentages here. And look at this. 63% of you on the call tonight are real estate investing for cash flow, which is awesome. 21% for the long-term benefits of appreciation. 11% would like some tax benefits, so that includes your depreciation of the property, even your mortgage interest, even some property management fees, the whole laundry list of write-offs that Uncle Sam allows for us real estate investors. And then 5% of us like the aspect of the principal pay down, where the tenant is actually paying off your 30-year mortgage or your 15-year mortgage or whatever the term is on that property. So that's very fascinating. Thanks for sharing that, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and hide this, and we're going to go ahead and get started. I am very pleased to have my regional rep on the call tonight. She is a wealth of knowledge of all things San Antonio. She's a realtor, she's an investment specialist, and also in the property management side of the business. So I'm going to bring up my very, very important guest today. Her name is Christine Doriot, and she's going to cover the San Antonio market. Christine, can you hear me?
Yes, I sure can.
Awesome. Take it away.
Thanks, Parker. Hi, everyone. It's nice to be here tonight, and I love the San Antonio market. I'm very excited to explain all the information on it. I lived here all my life, so I know the very good parts of San Antonio to target in. And I've seen all the businesses and growth throughout the years. I know the specific areas, that where new businesses have been relocating and growing and seeing everything just happen so fast. And it's just amazing. But San Antonio is a beautiful city. There's a lot of diversity here and a lot of different type of jobs. So let's go to it. So San Antonio, I'm with Hecht Real Estate Group. That's the company I work with. And we're going to go ahead and talk about, I'm going to go into details about San Antonio, the economics, the quality of life, San Antonio real estate and the rental market, as well as some property opportunities towards the end. We're going to identify specific hand-picked properties, and just so that you can get an idea of that. And I'm also going to go into the sales because basically when you're purchasing, that's the sales part. So the beginning of actually finding a property, purchasing it, and then after you purchase it and it closes in funds, there's the leasing aspect. And that's where I'm not just a realtor and the salesman, I'm also a leasing agent. I actually would lease the property out and get it marketed to find a qualified tenant for your home. And after that, the management. So after it's leased out, we have a management team that works with, if there's any repairs needed or payment issues, anything that needed for the management prospect, we have that. And then Central Texas since 2005. So we've been in Texas since 2005, running this property management company. We specialize in single family and multifamily properties. So I do, there's a lot of good potential duplexes out there that we're going to identify as well on this call, and up to fourplexes as well. So our program is 100% turnkey, one-stop shop. So from the very beginning of me helping you identify and find a property that is going to be either good cash flow, appreciation, all the benefits for you, to leasing it out, getting a qualified tenant, and then to getting it managed. It's all one stop. Whereas other companies, you're going to have to go with another company and deal with different people throughout the process, and that can be very stressful. Not with me. So it's all one. It's all one turnkey. So this is the San Antonio team. This is Hecht Real Estate Group team. Craig Hecht, he's the owner. He's a broker. Anna, that's the accounting. She's our accounting that pays everybody and makes sure that all the owners get their rental income and everything like that. That's me. I'm Christine Doriot. I run the San Antonio office, and there is an Austin office as well. and that's Michelle Woods. She handles a lot of the utilities, getting set up with utilities, any issues with that. Ryan Archer, he's also in our team. He handles a lot of our system issues, any type of system or technical issues. And then Karma Standard, she's the main property manager contact. She's the one who deals with our tenants on a day in and day out basis. So after I get it leased out, Karma, it's passed on to Karma, and she makes sure all the payments are, everything's set up, that you get paid, that the tenants make their payments, everything like that. And she also works with the repair requests, with work orders, all that good stuff. It's nice to put a face to the picture, and that's the San Antonio map right there. So San Antonio is a very big city, okay? It's pretty big, but this is a map just to give you an idea. We have two major highways. We have more than that, but two specific highways we like to target, which is 410. That's highway loop 410, and it loops literally around downtown. So downtown's right in the middle of 410. So we like to buy or have y'all purchase property outside the loop, meaning not inside but outside. So outside is where you see a lot of growth. So inside, it's more than already, like, you got downtown, you got a lot of urbanized areas downtown. But if you go outside that loop, that's where all the growth is happening, especially in the northwest side of town, which is on the left side, where you see San Antonio. That area right there where the San Antonio is right now is extremely popular. There's Lackland Air Force Base. I mean, there's a lot going on there. So, but that just gives you an idea of, what the map looks like in San Antonio. And this is the major targets in San Antonio as far as businesses and military bases and entertainment. So if you see UTSA on the top right, that's the University of Texas of San Antonio. That's located on the northwest side. So there's a lot of students that graduated this past month from there, but it's a great school. And then we have Randolph Air Force Base, which is located on the right side, on the top right. That's the northeast side of San Antonio, as well as Fort Sam Houston. So we have 4 military bases in San Antonio. That's a lot. So we're known as Military City. So we got Army and Air Force, and northeast side is, you see Randolph and Fort Sam Houston, and on the west side, near SeaWorld area, is you got Lackland Air Force Base and Kelly Air Force Base. So there's a lot of military families constantly relocating here, and they stay about anywhere on average 3 to 4 years they're stationed here. And they don't want to buy a house because they're going to have to move anyways, but they don't want to live in an apartment. So they love to rent out homes, and they're pretty much the best tenants to have, by the way. And then, of course, it shows downtown San Antonio. We have our awesome Riverwalk, and then our Alamo that's located downtown, and then the SeaWorld. We got Six Flags, Fiesta Texas is what we call it, and then USAA is headquartered in San Antonio. They're one of the biggest insurance, known as the military insurance, but they also do banking for non-military, and they have over 22,000 employees. So, and that's located in the northwest side of town. So that brings in a lot of business as well, with people looking to, rent. A lot of people get transferred from other USAAs that throughout I know there's one in Phoenix and one in Colorado. They have different locations, but USAA is headquartered in San Antonio. This is our home office. So a lot of different jobs and entertainment, everything around San Antonio. It's great. And then this just shows a picture, a quick snapshot of right there in the middle is our Riverwalk. It's a very beautiful downtown. There's a lot of restaurants and a lot of places like bars and clubs. It's like a little mini Mardi Gras, but it's prettier because you have the Riverwalk right there, where you can eat right there next to the river. You can actually take the boats that take you around. You can take those boat tours, and you can also have dinner on the boat too. They have those restaurants that do that as well. But it's really pretty at night. They have all the lights lit up, especially Christmas time. It's really a lot of fun. And then, of course, on the top, it shows Randolph Air Force Base, which brings a lot of military jobs and a lot of, not just military, but we have a lot of civil service employees, government jobs where they're not military, but they're civil service. So you get a lot of them as well. And then U.S. Air Force, Lackland Air Force Base there. We have our beautiful Texas Hill Country, where if you go outside of the 1604 highway, you start seeing the hills, and it's really pretty. People buy land, they build their houses. You get real expensive homes out there, but it's a real pretty scenery out there. And then, of course, you have UTSA, which is our little Roadrunner mascot, and our San Antonio Spurs. I'm not going to go into when the Warriors beat them, but we were really hoping for them, but that's hopefully next year. There's always next year, so we're really proud. We have a lot of Spurs fans here in San Antonio. And then, of course, Six Flags. That's a lot of fun. I love taking my kids to Six Flags. They have the water park and all the roller coasters and everything. And then SeaWorld. Whenever they want to see Shamu, it's not far. And that is a nice area, by the way. We call it the SeaWorld area. There's a lot of brand new homes being built out there, good schools, lots of businesses. And, of course, the USAA, located in the northwest side. And it's just, just great. And, of course, our Alamo on the left, and then our Air Force logo. So that gives you a good snapshot of what San Antonio is about. Now, this is the information about the population, and you can see how much growth has happened over the past 16, 17 years. So in 2000, it was at 1.144 million, around there, and then 2010 it was 1,290,000, and then 2016 was 1,469,000 plus. Keep in mind, this is only within the San Antonio city limits. There's a lot of suburbs located outside of San Antonio that aren't included with this population. So when you actually include all the suburbs, surrounding areas, everything combined together, it's over 2 million. So that's just within the city limits. But it's a lot of growth, a lot of people, which you get more tenants from that. And then this is one of my favorite percentages, unemployment. So our unemployment rate is less than 4%. It's only at 3.8% compared to the national average almost at 4.9. There's so much growth here. We're not just dependent off one job market. We have military, 4 bases, and then we have the medical center, which is a very popular area where we have clusters of hospitals and clinics and so much, medical jobs, doctors, nurses, x-ray techs, it goes on and on. And then we have banking. We have tons of financial institutions that are, here, and then tech, there's a lot of IT. So there's very healthy and diverse in all these different type of job markets. But that's probably why our unemployment rate is so low. And then our median household income, it's actually pretty good. It's at $46,317, which may not sound that high for California, but it's the cost of living is very affordable here, so that's actually not bad. It's pretty good, and that's the price range where tenants are looking for an average of a $1,300 to $1,400 rent. And then the yearly job growth, it's been really good at 1.88%, and then our 10-year projected job growth for just our 10 years out is almost at 40%. That's unreal. There's so many companies that are relocating here just because we're so affordable. I know Microsoft bought a whole bunch of land out near the SeaWorld area, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of jobs they're going to create there. Amazon came out here. IKEA already started, bought a whole bunch of land. So there's so many jobs here. It's just amazing. But that's your rundown with the economy. And overall, this just gives you a comparison for San Antonio numbers versus the USA, like national average. So overall, showing 93% to 100%. So like when you look at our grocery bill, just for our groceries, we are way less than the national average. It's only 84.4% versus the national average compared to 100. And then the health, for our healthcare, bill and everything like that, it's 97%. Housing, 95%. We have very affordable housing. Our utilities aren't that bad. It's at 84%. And then I know gas right now is at like $2.09 a gallon right now. And transportation, that's kind of close to national average, 99%. So, but there's a lot of people that like their cars and trucks out here. That's for sure. Now, this is our weather. We have really nice weather in San Antonio. That's why a lot of military families that are relocated here, they come back and retire here because they enjoy the weather and there's so many things to do. You're never going to be bored in San Antonio. There's always something to do. But it's averages with the rain, 32 inches of rain per year. So that's not bad. It's not like Seattle where we have, tons of rain. We do have a lot of sunny days. This is average, 220 days of sun per year. I know when I was in San Francisco, I didn't even get to see the bridge because when I was driving over it, I was literally on the bridge and I couldn't see because it was so foggy. So we're not known to be like foggy weather too much. We get a lot of sun, bright blue skies, everything like that. July average high, that's our average temp. It's like 94 degrees. And then I know in August it can get in the triple digits, like 103, 104. And it starts coming back down in September. But, that's our hottest time is July and August. But for the rest of the year, it's really nice weather. And then January, when it's supposed to be really cold, it's not really that bad here. It's like 62 on average. We could barbecue outside in Christmas time sometimes because it's not that bad. I think the coldest, like maybe a couple days, it might hit freezing, but it never snows here. I think the last time it snowed, like it was 13 inches, was in 1985. And like the whole city shut down because we're not used to snow. So that's the last time we got snow. So you don't have to worry about the house, wearing down from snow and all of that stuff. And this is talking about our, with the total month sales, with what's going on with the market in San Antonio. Now this started from January through December 2014. You can see a total month sale and then you can see the average price and then the median price. So the total month sales on the top was 24,812, which is a 5% increase from the year before. And then the average price of the home, it was at 218,708, which was a 5% increase from the year before. The median price compared to the average is at 180,700, 6% increase. And you go on to the next year, or 2015. So you see how the home value increased and the number of sales increased. The number of sales increased by 9% from 2014. And then, so more people were buying. And then, of course, the value of the homes increased by 6%. And then the median price was at 7%. And then the latest year, which was last year, 2016, there was an 8% increase. And then the home values really went up by from 231,847 to 239,657. Now these are Class A properties. Okay, keep that in mind. And then the medium is 204,300. So that's what you can see, just to give you an idea of how our sales have been increasing throughout the years and how our prices of homes have been averaging throughout the years. And they have been going up, which is good. And the median price for San Antonio for the leases, for the rent, is right now at $1,395, $1,395, which is 7% more than what it was the same month last year. Last year. So every year I have been seeing an increase in rent. And that's the average of what the majority of people that are looking for anywhere from $1,200 a month all the way up to $1,600. That's the highest pool of people that are looking. Once you get over 1,600, those are really the properties that are 250,000 on up. We don't really recommend that because it's less pool of people looking for that rent rate, because then they just end up buying. So that's why we like properties from 150,000 up to 225,000. That's our biggest price range right there that we like to stay within, because you can easily get those rental rates there. And in every year we increase our rates every year by $75 to $100, every year, even if the tenant renews. So your positive cash flow will be increasing over the years. The first year it'll be the lowest. It won't be much. It'll probably be like anywhere from 100 to 150. But keep in mind, every year you're going to get the equity, the appreciation, and every year you're going to get that extra cash flow from the rental rates keeping increasing. And within a couple of years, you'll be really good with cash flow. So that's just the reason why I was explaining that. But let's go on to the next. Now, the 10 hottest real estate markets to watch for. This is a really interesting slide. This is from Forbes. These are quotes from Forbes magazine. We were rated number 8 on the Forbes list of the best place to purchase your investment property in. The reason being is it's easily one of the biggest military cities in the country. We're known as the military capital of the world. We have 4 military bases. How many cities have that in the country? So we have a lot of military families that actually lease from us without even seeing the property in person. A lot of it is done online through Zillow or Truly or HotPads, and they'll see our awesome pictures that we take, and they also see the walkthrough videos that we do. So it's like they're there anyways, walking the property, if we have those videos, those tours, and they interested. They go, when can I apply? And we give them our website to apply, and we have we can get it leased out. So by the time they get here, which is usually like a 2-week time frame, they have their home and they're ready to move in. We do everything, but we can do everything through DocuSign, where they can digitally sign the lease and everything, and we collect everything when they move in, the day of move-in. So we deal with a lot of military families. And then steady job opportunities, such as USAA, that was that huge insurance company I told you about that's headquartered here. That's over 22,000 jobs right there. And Toyota, that Toyota factory plant that has created so many jobs. And HEB is one of our biggest grocery supermarkets in Texas, actually. And there's so much job growth with HEB. There's so many different positions. It's a huge grocery store. It's not a small one. It's real big, and there's a lot of them in San Antonio. And then city's culture and history are added bonuses to San Antonio residents. So we have like I said, we're very diverse with our ethnicity. We have a lot of Spanish heritage here, but there's a lot, since we have a lot of military, there's a lot of different diversity here, and people that relocate for jobs. And it's just a lot of fun. We have Fiesta every year that happens in April. It's like a Mardi Gras, but it's San Antonio style. We have music. We have great food. I think we have the best Mexican Tex-Mex in the world. So, but we have really good food. And then the history. I mean, the Alamo. There's so much history to that. And we're just, we're not far from Austin. We're only an hour away from Austin. We're only 2 hours away from the beach. It only takes me about 2 hours to drive to Corpus Christi, where there's the Gulf of Mexico and there's the beach. So there's a lot of fun stuff to do here. And New Braunfels. So that is one of the fastest growing cities in the country. New Braunfels is considered the biggest suburb of San Antonio. It's located about 15 minutes outside 1604, which is a major highway of San Antonio. And it's a nice, it's a higher income area. So I would say it's probably about $60,000 a year on up for the medium, family income. And there's a lot of new homes being built left and right now in New Braunfels, and a lot of growth in restaurants, entertainment, shopping malls. They just opened up this new nice, huge movie, theater, draft house. And it's just really nice. There's a lot of job growth out there. A lot of hospitals are being built out there. And people like to live in New Braunfels because of not only all the things to do, but it's like it has like a lot of water recreational sports. So there is a big river called the Guadalupe River, runs right through it. There's a lot of people like to go tubing and go fishing. There's a lot of lakes. It's very water friendly, so you have a lot of people with their boats, and they like to take their boats out. And then they have the best water park in the country. It's called Schlitterbahn. It was on the Travel Channel as voted #1 water park in the country, but it's called Schlitterbahn Water Park. You can Google it. It's a German name, and it is huge. It takes a whole day to go through all the rides there, but it's like awesome because they use the real river water from the Comal River. And that's just New Braunfels. We're seeing a lot of people that aren't familiar with New Braunfels, but they hear about it and they move there and they're not ready to buy it, so they like to live in duplexes. We've been seeing a lot of increase in duplexes there, and they're nice, A-class duplexes too. So that's something I want to mention with that. And this is talking about property classes, and then this shows a trend of our, it shows a grade trend of the prices of our homes starting back from 1992. The average price of a home back in 1992 was only $70,400, and this is for a normal, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot home. That's your typical, middle class family home, and that I remember when homes were only that. And then when you look throughout the years, it obviously has been increasing. And during the market crash of 2008, where you see 2009 and 2010, we were hardly affected that bad. I mean, it did affect us a little bit, but very low percentage. I mean, look how low the percentage, negative 0.26 and then negative 2.29. Unlike California, I think it was 28%. So it hardly affected us. And look how fast after we just been increasing like crazy. So now we're at 206,900, probably even higher now for 2017. But a lot of these are your B-class properties, which, are very nice. As far as getting those rental rates of $1,300, $1,400 a month, still getting cash flow and then the appreciation. And then, of course, you see our property classes, where on the far left side are the considered luxury, which we don't recommend because it's hard to find tenants. Not that many pool of people are looking to pay the higher rent. So we try to avoid going luxury. A property, as long as you're sticking with 200 and I would say 225,000 at the most to 200,000, that's your A property. And we still see a lot of tenants easily. I think we just did like 3 A properties last month, and they rented out like within days. So that's a high demand there. The B properties are our most popular market because they're very affordable. You're looking at 150,000 up to 200, and the majority of people that are looking to rent are in the B class. And then the C class, there's some C class properties that we would recommend, but you just have to be very careful in the areas, and that's where I come in. I'll let you know, hey, this is not a good area to buy in. The numbers may look good, but I would see how the declining has been, or you're not going to get appreciation in the next couple years. The rental rates are just going to stay the same there. So I'm very good with knowing the neighborhoods to stay within and the neighborhoods to stay out of. And the D properties, we do not even manage D properties. We don't recommend anyone buying that because it's very hard dealing with the tenants on that. And you have very low rates on the D property. And that just helps you give you an idea on the classes. So this is a lot of information thrown to you all at once, but if you want to learn more, there's a wealth of knowledge for San Antonio. It could be just a whole class on that alone. So you could get a copy. It's only 18-page market data report. It shows you all the information, demographics, jobs, everything you want to know about San Antonio. And you can find this on the Marshall Reddick website. On the top of the website, the Marshall Reddick, there's a Learn tab. You can click on that, and then click on the Education tab. And on the far left side, there's a search field where you can just type in San Antonio, and then the first link that'll pop up will be this. And you can just download it, PDF it, save it, and read that wealth of knowledge there for you. It's very helpful. And for our property management fees, we have a very competitive, fees. We give Marshall Reddick discounts, or clients a discount as well. But the standard property management company, for most of them in San Antonio, they'll charge you 10% monthly management fees. We only charge 8%. So think about it. If it's only $1,000 a month rent, that's only $80. It's really cheap. And we provide such good service. So, and then our leasing fee, so that's whenever your home is vacant and you have the leasing agent find you a tenant, that's 65% of the first month's rent. So we don't take the whole month's rent. A lot of companies do. We just do 65% because that's the cost that we pay, the leasing agent. And sometimes they have to split that with another agent because sometimes other agents will help, with other companies show the property to their clients. So that's what that's for. And then there's never an upcharge on maintenance repairs. Some companies charge extra fees just to get, maintenance repairs done. Well, no, we don't charge that. It's just whatever the contractor charges, that's what it is. We don't upcharge you on that. And we take care of that. We have companies that we've been working with for years that are insured and bonded, that we have good relationships with, and they all have their criminal backgrounds checked, so everybody's good that's going into the property. And we're talking about plumbers, electricians, HVAC techs, carpenters, whatever you need. They're all insured and bonded, and they do a great job with responding to our tenants' requests. They get out there pretty fast, and we send you the bid amount before we do the repairs. And once you give us the approval, we say, hey, go ahead and start. And that's how we do that. Now there's some hand-picked income properties for you. This is the fun part. So there's some hand-picked properties that I carefully looked at. I don't just throw everything that's on the market out there because some properties just won't make sense. It won't give you the cash flow. It's not in a good area. Maybe it has carpet everywhere. You want something that is going to make sense. So I picked these top properties out for you, and I know that a lot of y'all are going to be interested in it, but I would like to go into, now we're going to do the fun stuff. We're going to actually look at some homes.
All right, guys, it's Parker back. I kind of commandeered 2 properties tonight because as I was going through these with Christine before, in preparation for the webinar, I absolutely love the 2 that I'm going to be talking about tonight. The first one is on your screen here, 6806 Laguna Verde. This is in the city of San Antonio. I know you guys don't have a map on your screen, but to give you a little bit of perspective, this is in what's called the far northeast side of town. So this is over near like I-35 and 1604 corridor. So you're going to see military tenants out there from Fort Sam Houston, maybe Randolph Air Force Base as well. But look at the price on this property, right? It's $135,000 for a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square foot property with an attached 2-car garage. So like I mentioned in the first couple slides here, that's really going to appeal towards a large tenant pool, whether that's a family, a well-established family, a growing family, a single professional, or all the above. So that's really going to ensure your long-term longevity of this real estate investment. And then let's dive into the numbers a little bit as well. So your rental amount at market is $1,200 a month. After your mortgage payment, your property taxes, your insurance, which by the way should be in an impound account. If you guys own property, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't own property, take down a note and star an impound account, because that's going to make your life so simple when doing your monthly mortgage payment. But going on, after your 8% management fee, you're looking at a monthly income to hit your bank account about $360 a month, which is pretty awesome. And then after our very conservative allocations for future maintenance, future vacancy, and heck, even a future leasing fee, you're cash flow positive at the end of the day. So remember, as a real estate investor, you're really trying to build a scalable business and be conservative with your estimations. So think of these maintenance, vacancy, and leasing fee as a rainy day fund, per se. So these monies do go into your pocket or your bank account every single month, but being conservative, we're saying, hey, put it aside for any future items, just to set yourself up for success. Okay, so I really like this property for a C-class neighborhood, built in 1980s. There are additional photos on our website. It's beautiful on the inside. So moving on, I know Christine really likes these next two, so I'm going to let her take it away on this single-family home out there in Far Lawn Isle. Go ahead, Christine.
Hey, Parker. Yeah, and this is 3632 Farallon Isle, and it's located in the far northwest side of San Antonio, which is considered the SeaWorld area. A very busy area. I mean, this is a great B-class neighborhood. A lot of families from military, and then a lot of different businesses out there. A lot of banking. There's Wells Fargo, huge corporation, not just the small banking centers, but they have a big corporation headquartered for their mortgage there. There's a nationwide, there's a lot of big businesses out there. QVC is out there, you know what you see on TV? Yeah, the QVC Home Shopping, they're headquartered there. So we have a lot of good businesses, and this neighborhood, we actually have homes that we manage right now in this specific neighborhood. And it is very nice. They lease out very quickly. Whenever I have to lease out a property in this neighborhood, I have to make sure my voicemail is clear, because my voicemail will get full because I get so many calls for it. But we have leasing agents that show like crazy out here. So this list price is $179,000, which is going to get you a good rental rate. You know, assuming you put 25% down. We like to put initial repair costs of $1,200, and the reason we do that is you never know, after the seller and the buyer, after you close on the property, the seller may not always clean like properly, you know. So we hire a cleaning crew. If there's any like window coverings that need to be replaced, you know, because there's blinds that may be broken and stuff like that, which isn't a deal breaker. It's all about the location and the actual quality of the home. But little repair items like that, we just say, you know, schedule, and it's just the one time, you know, for $1,200. It's not always that, but it's always good to overestimate, and when it comes back a lot lower, that's always good. And then, of course, the rental rate is at $13.95 a month, which is really good because that's where we get a lot of people looking for this rental rate. And the taxes are in there of $284 a month, your mortgage payment, your insurance, after all expenses. Your monthly income, you actually are in the positive of over $230 a month, which is not bad for someone else paying your mortgage and getting you the equity and cash flow and appreciation. And then after you maintenance or put in the maintenance, 10% of the rent, that's a monthly of $139. That's just an overall. So you're not going to have every month where you're going to have to do repairs. Keep that in mind. That's just Marshall Reddick's way of being conservative. And then your vacancy of 10%, that's just assuming that 10% vacancy. You're not always going to have that. Most of our tenants stay about 3 years on average. So you only have to worry about maintenance and vacancy very little. The majority of the time, it's regular income you're getting, you know, from like with the 230. And then, of course, whenever we have to lease it out, that one-time leasing fee. But that's just to give you an idea and to be very conservative. But this is a great B-class property. It was built in 2005. It's big. It's actually a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. It's real big, and it's at 2,288 square feet. And 4 bedrooms are hard to find right now for rentals because they go fast. A lot of people don't mind paying extra for 4 bedrooms. This is one of our listings. It's my listing. It's a 2-unit duplex. It's located in the northeast side of San Antonio, similar to that first home that Parker went over. It's the northeast side of town, close to 1604 and 35 corridor, which you got 2 military bases out there, Fort Sam Houston and Randolph Brooks Air Force Base. So you got a lot of military. And actually, we manage some townhomes or duplexes in this specific neighborhood, so I could tell you exactly about the area. It's located across from the Wood Lake Golf Course, so it's a really pretty view out there. It's considered a B-class property because it's not that expensive. It's only $210,000 for this 2-unit duplex. And each unit has 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. So there's a half restroom downstairs where the living room is, and there's the kitchen. It's an open floor plan, real nice and pretty. And there's a half restroom downstairs, so the guests don't have to go upstairs. And when you go upstairs, you have the hallway and you have your 3 bedrooms. You got your master with the restroom inside the master, and then you have your regular restroom in the middle of the hallway, and then you have your 2 bedrooms. And the rental rate, this one on the left side, there's a car in the driveway. That left side leased out. She moved in March. Very qualified tenant. She's military. She's military. She gets really good income. They get housing paid. The military pays them that. So she really made a lot more than 3 times the rent, and she's been paying really good. And, her kids love the schools. And so it's a very good property. And on the right side, the tenants just moved out. They weren't military, but they were getting relocated from their job. They were working at Amazon, and then they got, they got promoted, so they went to another Amazon location. So that right side, we have it currently listed for lease, and we've been getting so many calls. My leasing agents have been showing it a lot this whole week. They've been doing, so we're going to be getting multiple applications on this because the price range is so low. So the rent is only at $975. So that's really cheap. When you get under $1,000 a month, you get a lot of people calling in for it. But it's located in a good area. So it's hard to find rent under $1,000 in San Antonio that's in a good area, that has good schools, that you're not scared to be in. This is a really good location. Again, it's located across from the Wood Lake Golf Course. And it's a 3-bedroom, and they all have a private fenced-in backyards. And they have the garage door openers. It's 1-car garage, but there's still plenty of space to park on the driveway and then on the outside. So it's a great listing, and it just got a brand new roof. And it was built not too long. It's still considered a good quality because it was built in 2007. So your maintenance would be low on this. It's got concrete stained flooring all on the first floor. You don't have to worry about carpet on the first floor. There's only carpet upstairs. And it's a very good property that comes with a fridge, so that's already included. And it's just very popular. But that's one of our listings. It won't last long, but it's on there. So if anyone's interested, it's $210,000. So that's breaks it down to $105,000 for each unit. And you get that positive cash flow of $559 a month. So look at that positive cash flow right there. That's huge. So if you're really looking for cash flow, duplexes are the way to go. Look at that, looking at the vacancy rate, the maintenance, the monthly maintenance, the leasing fee, you're still ending up with being conservative over $100 a month cash flow. The annual rate of return is at 15.76%. That's high. So this is really a great duplex. I would definitely highly recommend. If you have any questions, just call me. You're going to have my contact information, and it's also on the Marshall Reddick website.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christine. And like I mentioned, I had to present on this one because this is in that New Braunfels area, folks, where Schlitterbahn is. That is the world-renowned water park out there. But not only that, there's a lot of healthcare and medical jobs in New Braunfels. And it's pretty interesting seeing the forecast of what's called the I-35 corridor in which New Braunfels is located. That's the area between San Antonio and Austin in which they're projecting it to be what Dallas and Fort Worth is now. So Dallas and Fort Worth used to be completely separate metros in itself. And as each metro grew, it kind of combined into this mega metro of Dallas-Fort Worth, DFW. So the projections are going the same way for this corridor, the I-35 corridor, to be the next major megaplex, I'm going to call it. And that's where New Braunfels is, okay? So a lot of new construction out there, a lot of affordable housing out there as well, with great income for the tenants. So I wanted to highlight this one because it's a beautiful place, not only aesthetically, but what I like is the numbers, right? So it's a brand new build, everything new, new roof, new garage, new flooring, new water heater, HVAC, you name it, brand new. So it's really going to cut down on your maintenance over the long term. But even further, it's a 3-bed, 2-bath on each side. Again, appealing to many different types of tenants, okay? And then after your fixed expenses, right, so that's your rent coming in minus your taxes, your property taxes, your insurance, management fee, HOA, you're looking at just shy of $600 a month for your monthly income, right? And then even after your rainy day funds, your positive cash flow at the end of the day. So this will really, really cater towards that cash flow savvy investor, like 68% of you on the call. And like Christine mentioned, duplexes are the way to go if you're looking to maximize your cash flow bucket in real estate investing. That way you have 2 doors for 1 mortgage if you're using conventional financing, but also higher cash flow as you saw in these 4 properties. So that brings me to the second poll question tonight. I mentioned it's interactive, so let's get some feedback here. I'm going to launch the second poll just like the first one, and let's get it started. This pertains to what we just covered, which is the 4 properties here. So the property I am most interested in is, and you have your 4 properties there to pick your favorite. And I'll remind you, I'll go over the specs real quick. The first one was that single-family home in the northeast side of town. It was a C-class, 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,400 square feet. Farline Isle is the B-class single-family home, the far northwest side, near the medical center out there. And then you have Gulf Mist, that's the duplex that was listed for $210, has a brand new roof on there, one side already rented, and the other one already being marketed for rent. And then your 4th option is that brand new construction duplex in New Braunfels that has the high cash flow as well. So go ahead and choose your favorite property here. I know it's tough choices because all of them are my favorite, but needless to say, go ahead and choose one, and I'll give you about, let's do a 10-second countdown. So go ahead and cast your last second votes here, and we'll get this thing going. I'll give it 3, 2, and last chance. All right, I'm going to close it up. And just like before, share the percentages here. So it looks like 60% really like that B-class duplex on Gulf Mist. That's the one with the one side already rented. So the high cash flow people, I'm sure that was your choice. And then it looks like we have wow, I've never actually seen this before. You know, there's so many people on the webinar. It looks like we have a 3-way tie with Laguna, Farallon, and Joanne Cove, and we'll call it second place with 13%. So thanks for voting, guys. Moving on here, just to kind of recap what we touched on today. We touched on the services that Heck Real Estate Group and Marshall Reddick offer with the property management, with the leasing agents as well, but also the buying and selling out there in the San Antonio metro. How San Antonio is such a great market for long-term growth, and also some cash flow mixed in as well, with USAA out there, with the 4 military bases, and Forbes finally catching up to what we've been doing for so long and ranking it the #8 hottest market in 2017 to watch. Quality of life out there is pretty self-explanatory. It's very affordable. There's a lot of things to do with that river walk, with history like the Alamo, and also growth in the suburbs, all the way out to New Braunfels, and heck, pretty soon, I guess all the way up to Austin as well. And then the 4 properties we touched on as well, whether it's a single family home, whether it's a duplex, or even there are some 4plexes out there that are sparingly on the market today, but there are opportunities out there. We highlighted 4 that we hand selected for you folks today, so I really hope you guys enjoyed that. I promised we were going to get to your questions. I tried to answer as many as I could during the presentation, but they kept coming on through. And some of them I told you, hey, let's address this to the crowd at the end, because that's a very, very good question. So this is the time that we're going to do a little bit of Q&A. I think it's going to be very important for you guys to keep taking notes, and let's dive into this. So Christine, the first question I guess will be for you in regards to the property management side of things. So a question came in on how many properties do you guys have under management?
Well, if you combine Austin, New Braunfels, and San Antonio, we have a total of 328 properties right now, which keeps growing. But the more it grows, the more leasing agents we hire. So we're definitely a step ahead of the game as far as being able to handle it. And we're not one of those huge corporations that has 2,000 properties where you're just a number, you know, and they're talking to different people all the time or getting transferred. So it's one point of contact, you know, as far as Karma. She's really good. I'm the contact for the leasing. So as far as vacancy, you know, I oversee the leasing agents in San Antonio. I manage them, but it all comes down to me approving them, the tenant. We don't cut corners. We make sure to, you know, check and verify rental history. We make sure they make enough. We verify their income. We check it to see, we pull an eviction report. We make sure they don't have evictions, make sure they don't have broken leases, and of course, the criminal history as well. But yeah, we have a total of 328 properties. But in San Antonio alone, that's like closer to about 120. And, you know, we're just getting more and more each month. And a lot of people, other owners, we're getting known for the good service. So I'm not going to mention the other companies out there, names that were considered our competitors, but we're getting a lot of their properties transferred over because the owners are just happy with our service, and we're getting word of mouth around really quick, and constantly getting new properties, you know, that we're just taking over, and it's really good. But we love what we do. So
nice. This one's a good one as well from Jeff. As we touched on different areas within the metro, he pointed out a good point. In the northwest side versus the northeast side, what do you see the differences in the tenants, like tenant quality, for example?
Really, there's not much huge difference in tenant quality, because the way we screen our tenants, we screen them the same way if they're applying for a property in the northwest or the northeast. So we don't see an issue with differences in the quality. It's just the matter of where they want to be close to. Mainly, it's the, you know, it's just where the schools are, so, and then where they work. So, like, if they work in the north, that's kind of a stretch. So driving from the northeast side all the way to the northwest side, it takes a good 45 minutes, and that's without traffic. If there's traffic, it's going to take over an hour, sometimes an hour and a half if there's an accident. So people aren't going to want to drive, you know, where they're too far away from where they're working. So we like to target in the northeast side and the northwest because those are really good areas. And I haven't seen any difference in the way the the tenants any issues with differences because we screen them all the same. We make sure they're qualified.
Okay, good.
We reduce,
I like this. I like this question that Alex typed in, and I'm glad he mentioned this. It shows me that he is a savvy investor and reads up on his stuff. So he mentions that as interest rates may rise this next year, do you think the home prices may come down in the next 12 months? So what Alex is pertaining to is the Fed met back in December of 2016 about incremental increases over the next 24 months. I think they slated about 4 for 2017 and an additional 4 for 2018, if I'm not mistaken. So his question is pertaining to the effect on the housing market in San Antonio. Well, one thing I wanted to highlight is that appreciation trend line that we showed during the presentation, right? It went all the way back to 1992. And something to think about is where were interest rates in the 90s, right? They were a lot higher than they are today in the high 4s, okay? And then also, where were they in the 2000s? Still higher, 5, 6, 7% on average, right? And when 2008 came along, that's the greatest recession since the Great Depression that we may never see again in our lifetime due to lending guidelines. So even in that very turmoil economic depression, San Antonio still was chugging along. So that goes to show how the economy is so strong in Texas, but even in San Antonio. And that's why I love real estate, because it's very geographically localized. So in that crazy time of 08, 09, 2010, when California, us Californians were getting crushed, 28%, San Antonio was doing just fine. So in summation, Alex, I don't foresee it making crazy changes in San Antonio because of the economics in that market. Do you agree, Christine? Do you want to add anything to that?
Oh, no, I totally agree with you. We've been very, conservative with the way, the taxes and everything like that. And it's been increasing so much. And the reason is because it's a high demand. So many people are wanting to live here and relocating here. It's right now just homes going left and right under contract, especially with this price range. Anything under $200,000. I mean, I'm serious. They're just going so fast because it won't be long before values increase. They've been increasing, and investors are smart. They know the market. They do their research. They know San Antonio has been increasing, and they're buying like crazy out here. So, because of the appreciation has been so good. And I'm telling you, I bought my investment house in 2006, and that was the peak of the market. That's when we were paying top dollar before the market crashed. I paid $170,000 for a brand new home construction because I went low maintenance, and I now owe I think $140,000 on the house now, and it is now worth $200,000, and that's a matter of 10 years. $200,000 minus what I owe $140. Look at all the equity I have. I mean, what kind of return can you get in the stock market today doing that without a huge risk? So I'm not selling that home. I had started off with a rent of, I think it was like $1,100 a month. Now it's at $1,475 a month, going on $1,550 pretty soon. I'm going to raise it. Once the tenant moves out, it's going to be $1,550. So every year it's been going up like crazy, and now my cash flow is really good. That's going to pay my daughter's college off when she turns 18, when I decide to sell. So yeah, it's been, the market has been so wonderful out here, and those areas that we went over, northeast side and northwest, they're both great areas. There's not a big difference in the way the tenants are. It's just a matter of where their jobs are, where they want to be close by. Great question.
This one's a good one as well. This is about tenant turnover. So how have you guys been so successful in keeping tenants long term?
Well, as far as tenants long term, we've been very good service. So it's all about the service. Making sure to respond to their maintenance requests is usually the biggest complaint out there, is not responding to their, if there's something, that breaks down and they submit a request, we respond to them within 24 hours. And we have a 24-hour emergency repair line where we have an answering service that'll answer the call, like in the middle of the night if there's a flood, or with a water heater, and they will get with the contractors and get with the emergency contractors out there for them. So we attend very quickly, unlike other companies. And we've been taking over the management where, they haven't been responding, at all, and they're really upset at it. So that's the number one reason why we have been keeping our tenants long term, because they love our service, and they just, a lot of them get to know our leasing agents very well. Even though we're just there in the beginning when we lease it out, they'll still be friends with them, and they'll say, hey, I love my house, and and they'll still keep in touch with our leasing agents. It's great, and that's just part of the great service. We treat them like family. And then, if they do decide to move, we make it very easy for them. We make that transition very easy. Great question.
Yeah, very good question. And I'm going to do this last question. I apologize if I did not get to your question, as there are so many people on this webinar tonight. But I wanted to get this one on the call. It pertains to financing. She's asking, do we have a preferred lender, or are they required to do that on their own? Does Marshall Reddick finance it? And I wanted to give you guys this opportunity to schedule a consultation with me, where basically we can go over everything involved with your goals, your criteria, financing, timeline, identify the right markets like San Antonio, and also the key players there as well. Yes, we do work with a great lender who does everything conventional, whether that's in California, Texas, and multiple states for that matter too. He's been our go-to guy for about 12 years, and I know some people on the call tonight have done multiple purchase loans with him, so I'll be more than happy to get you in touch with him to discuss your financing needs. And then the last question, I'm going to do a bonus question here because I really like this one. How do I go out there and visit you, and will you tour me around? And Christine, maybe I'll let you answer that question.
Yes, definitely. I do that a lot with my investor clients. Just let me know when you're going to be flying in. I can meet you and pick you up at your hotel, or if you want to meet up somewhere else. And I can definitely drive you to different parts of San Antonio. I'll show you the expensive parts that you probably won't buy in, because they're really expensive, but then I'll just, so you can get an idea, and I'll show you the northeast side, the northwest side, the medical center area, where all the growth is happening, just so you have a great idea, and then if there's some duplexes or proper single family homes you want to take a look at, I can definitely schedule showings for those as well. And I love doing that, because that gives you a better idea of the market. But you don't always have to be here in person. I mean, we're the experts. We can do the walkthrough video tours for you and everything like that. But if you're going to be in town, yes, I definitely would love to meet with you in person. I've been doing real estate since 1999, so I've seen all the ups and downs and everything. But there's been so much growth in San Antonio, and I'd be more than excited to meet with any of you that want to come down.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And again, guys, if when you're interested in scheduling this consultation, there is a URL on your screen for the people that are calling in through their phone. It's marshallreddick.com/consultation, and we will go through every single option that you have, whether that is conventional financing, retirement planning, private money lending, or northwest side versus northeast side of San Antonio. I'm more than happy to run through all those options with you. So write down that URL, or you can always call me directly. My contact information is right there. 949-885-5161, or my email's there too. So wanted to thank you all for attending today. Thank you, Christine, so much for joining me. And I wanted to give you a round of applause on a very job well done. So thank you so much, Christine.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. I really am excited about San Antonio, so please reach out to Parker, and he'll help you out, and he'll help get you set up with a conference call with myself and him whenever you're interested.
Thank you guys so much. And closing thoughts, I'll see you on the next webinar. Have a good night.